What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what I think needs to be done before you're diving into MOP. Right now, there's some important things here that I do want to go over with you guys because I'm not sure that everyone realizes that certain things are going away, right? We heard about them a few weeks ago or about a month ago at this point, and we're coming up on the time where these things are going away and you're not going to be able to do them anymore, right? So for starters, myself personally, I'm kind of excited for MOP. I'm going to be playing it. I'm not sure how deep I'm going to get into the game and if I'm going to make content about it, but it really all depends on if I'm playing it and I'm enjoying it. If I'm enjoying it, I'll 100% be making content around it. If I'm not enjoying it and I don't play it for that long, I'll probably be sticking to my normal TBC content, you know, making my guides and stuff for the future after Vanilla Anniversary. But either way, I want to talk to you guys about what you can do right now to prepare for Mists of Pandaria. So the most important thing that I want to go over is the fact that the free 85 character boost that you get for killing Balnazar in Season of Discovery's Scarlet Enclave raid is ending next Tuesday. You have 7 days from now till then to get that Balnazar kill and get your free level 85 character boost. So if you've been on the fence about MOP and you weren't sure if you wanted to try it, I do highly suggest you jump into Season of Discovery. I know it's going to be pretty hard to find a raid right now. I've heard from, through the grapevine that the raids are pretty scarce right now. But either way, get in there, get a Balnazar kill, and you'll get your free 85 boost for Mists of Pandaria to put on whatever server you want, wherever your friends are, whoever you're playing with. Doesn't really matter. Just get that free boost. It's going away on July 1st, which is next Tuesday. So make sure you do that. On top of that, I know Blizzard has implemented, we're now up to a 20% buff for Scarlet Enclave. So that's damage, healing, and health. 20% extra for Scarlet Enclave. So it should be pretty easy to at least down the first boss and get that boost. So make sure you get that out of the way. Now, what else you can do before Mists of Pandaria launches is we have the Midsummer Fire Festival going on right now. So for anyone who wanted to be leveling characters, leveling alts, anything like that, you have the Joyous Journeys experience buff, which is 50% experience buff, so leveling from level 1 all the way up to 85 currently, which is the cap level in Cataclysm until Mists of Pandaria launches. So you have a 50% buff from that, and then the Midsummer Fire Festival buff is in the game as well, so you can get an extra 10% from that. You go into, Stormwind or Orgrimmar, wherever, and you dance at the ribbon pole, and you stack a 60-minute buff that gives you 10% extra experience. Now, some other things that you guys can be doing aside from leveling characters, I haven't really done much prep yet. I'm probably going to be doing it about a week or two out from Mists of Pandaria, which I think it's launching July 21st, if I remember correctly. So for me, I'm going to be finishing off 2 characters that I plan to try and play in MOP, and that's going to be my Druid and my Death Knight. Now, both my Death Knight's already 85 and geared. My Druid's like 83. It'll take me literally like 2 or 3 hours with the, rested experience and the Midsummer Fire Festival buff and Joyous Journeys. It'll literally take me 2 or 3 hours to hit 85 on my Druid. But what you can do and what I'm going to do is you can make a profession plan, right? Plan out your professions, get all of that stuff leveled up, because I do have a feeling that once pre-patch does hit, leveling your professions and everything is going to skyrocket in terms of price. Now, I know coming from Anniversary, coming from all the other versions of Classic that my audience normally plays, gold in MOP, gold in Kata, for that matter, is just like crazy different than gold in like Anniversary, right? Like, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even 10,000 gold is nothing in Cataclysm, whereas in Anniversary, 10,000 gold is like unheard of. It's a lot of gold. So make sure you get on that. Start leveling your professions now, especially if you don't have characters and you didn't play Cataclysm. I would suggest leveling those professions up now, because the prices are probably going to double, maybe even triple once pre-patch hits, maybe about a week into pre-patch, when a lot of people start jumping on and deciding, you know what, I do want to give MOP a try, so let me get on there and start leveling up my characters. Some other things you can do is check your glyphs. Make sure you have all the right glyphs for your class, whatever you're playing. Hit up the auction house. Most of the glyphs are dirt cheap. So I would suggest just picking up all the glyphs available for your class and your specialization, whatever you plan on playing. Get those situated now. And then really, all that's left to do is you can, maybe grind out some dungeons, do the, Twilight dungeons, gear out your character if you want. You don't really need to do that. Just leveling for your first few hours in MOP, you'll most likely replace most of your gear, even if you are geared through the Twilight Dungeons, right? So you don't have to do that, but I would suggest maybe leveling your characters, getting your free 85 boost, you know, jumping on Season of Discovery, killing Balthazar if you can, get that boost. You know, setting your professions up on all of your characters, definitely go and do that, because you don't want to spend an arm and a leg after that. And then really, after you have the characters that you want to play leveled, you have all your glyphs, you have your professions, you don't want to level any more characters, the next thing you could do is, I guess, go around, maybe farm some transmog. Me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of transmog. I'm using it right now, obviously, but I'm not a collector in terms of transmog. I don't really like transmog in WoW, but it, you know, it is a thing in Cataclysm and forward, right? So you could definitely go and do that on any of the characters that you want. You know, if you're playing a Feral Druid, you can go and also get your Fire Staff from Fireland, so you could have Fire Kitty. You know, there's some cool things that you might want if you do find yourself enjoying MOP. You're going to wish that you went and did these things. So I think that pre-patch, you know, especially if you're not leveling a monk, there's not much to do in pre-patch if you're not leveling a monk. So you can go and spend your time doing those things, right? You can go and grab the, you know, the staff if you're a druid, like I said, level your professions, level up any alts that you want to level. And it really is pretty fast. The leveling doesn't feel bad. I leveled a few of my characters from 80 to 85, literally just spamming dungeons and outside of the queues I was questing in the zones, and it really felt a lot faster than I remember. But of course, we have a 50% experience buff, and now we have the 10% experience buff, you know, with the Midsummer Fire Festival. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'll show you guys how to get that buff right now, because I know I'm going to get some comments from people coming back that haven't played, and they're going to be like, oh, what do? I don't know where to get that buff. I'm going to show you right now. So basically, you're going to fly, or wherever you are, you're going to go into your main city. We're on Alliance right now, so I'm going to show you the Alliance side, but it's the same thing for Horde. So you're basically going to go into your main city, and in Stormwind, I think it's over here in the Mage Quarter. Yes, these are the Fire Festival quests right here. You can also do the event quests if you want to earn those rewards. You can check on Wowhead. They have a list of all the rewards you can earn from that. So basically, we're going to go over to the Mage Quarter, like so. And there is a little stipulation with the poll. You need to make sure someone else is also on the poll. If you're doing it solo, well, okay, this is not going to be a problem then. So you come over here, and I'm level 85, so I'm not going to get the buff, but you just right-click the poll. You'll see this little beam of light coming off of you, and you'll start spinning. Oh, I am getting the buff. Oh, I could stack it to go to 90. That's pretty cool if I just log out. Yeah, and you'll get this stacking buff. It'll stack all the way up to 60 minutes. So if you do plan on leveling characters, you can do what I did. And what I did was, on all my other characters that are sitting at level 80 that I haven't leveled yet, I went and I stacked this buff on them and then logged out, so that when I do go to play them, I have, you know, rested experience plus the 10% buff plus Joyous Journeys, which is going to make it, you know, really, really easy to level. So I would suggest doing that if you plan on leveling some characters, you know, for Mist of Pandaria. But I don't know, for me, I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm kind of hyped for it, but it's not really my cup of tea. After Wrath of the Lich King, I can't really get into the game as much as I wish that I could. I am not a classic Andy, as in like I only like vanilla, but I definitely am someone who feels like the game changes in a way that doesn't really resonate with me past Wrath of the Lich King. But either way, I do think that everyone should at least give it a try, right? You don't have to pay any extra money for any of this. It's all part of our sub, right? So there's no reason to not try it. You know, you don't have to buy anything or anything like that. If you're paying your monthly sub, you have access to Hardcore, Anniversary, Cataclysm, MOP, whatever it is, you know, retail. You can try all of these things. So I'm a big advocator in the fact that, you know, we should just try all these things. Maybe it'll take me by surprise and I will really enjoy MOP a lot more than I thought that I would, but I don't really know about that. So we're going to see. Like I said before, you know, people have been asking me, are you making MOP content? I'm kind of waiting, because it's very hard for me to make content if I'm not, you know, fully invested in what I'm doing. If I'm enjoying it and I'm finding myself liking MOP, and I'm going to play more than one character, and I'm going to do all the stuff there is in, you know, in that version of the game, then I probably will start making content on it. But other than that, I have a huge list of TBC content that I have planned, and I've been waiting. I don't want to release it too early. So I have that going, and you know, that's what we'll do. If we're not enjoying MOP, I'll stick to the normal content that I put out on the channel, and I'll go that way. If I am enjoying MOP, I will, you know, put out some MOP content. And aside from that, I actually started a third channel that I've been working on that I will link down in the description if you guys want to follow me on there. That's going to be a variety channel. I think we're at 450 subs right now, which is pretty good. It's growing pretty quick. It's just complete variety content, like Rust, some Tarkov stuff. I make like little movies on there. So if you're interested in anything from me outside of World of Warcraft, I'll link that channel in the description. Go shoot me a sub on there and check out the content over there. But on this channel, we will be posting nothing but WoW. So like I said, if we're enjoying MOP, we'll get some MOP content. If we're not enjoying MOP and I don't see myself playing it for the long haul, we will stick to the normal schedule and start probably releasing some of my TBC content, in the upcoming next month or two, most likely. Probably by the end of July, we'll start posting all the TBC content. I have a ton of it, and I really do want to get it out. But I want to see how MOP feels first before I start posting that stuff. Who knows? Maybe it'll take me by surprise and I'll really enjoy it. And we'll make some MOP content until TBC gets a little bit closer. But either way, just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on what you can do if you're on the fence about playing MOP. A little bit of an update from me. We're sticking to this. We're going to try MOP. And if not, we're going to keep hacking away at, Hardcore, Anniversary, and TBC here on this channel. But either way, guys, if you enjoyed the video, like it. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/hammerdance. I'll pin a comment down below. And go ahead, check out my third channel that I just started. Help me get monetized on there. We're pushing that thing pretty quick. It's growing. It's a variety channel. So any extra content I do outside of WoW will be posted on there. I'll put that in the description of this video. And subscribe here if you love classic WoW. Thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.